For years, the official WRC series game was an uninspired arcade manifestation handed from developer to developer without ever hitting the sweet spot. But then, in 2020, WRC 9 released, and it captured the hearts and minds of many WRC fans with their realistic but accessible physics and sensational track designs. WRC 10 is about to release, and I'm grateful to 𝗂𝗏𝗏 and 𝗏𝗂𝗏 who have once again supplied me with a key to preview and review it for you. Now, I have to admit, after the success of WRC 9, my concern was, would they try and do too much with WRC 10 and ruin what made WRC 9 so exceptionally fun and engaging? Or would they perhaps manage to focus on the right areas and improve what WRC 9 had offered? Well, I'm glad to say it is the latter, as WRC 10 offers a very similar feeling package to that of WRC 9 with even more depth and content to boot. First thing you'll notice is that we have a fresh new main menu to differentiate it from WRC 9, and I for one think it's cleaner and easier to navigate. And we still have the wonderful career mode with an updated R&D skill tree, and with the additional ability now to create our own liveries, it's a nice addition that adds a bit more of a personal touch to proceedings. We still have the online multiplayer, co-driver co-op, single season esports, daily and weekly challenges plus clubs, training and challenges plus even more than that. WRC 10 really does deliver a lot of eye candy, and some of the new stages are even more exceptional than in WRC 9. We also still have all the 52 teams and the official drivers, including my good pal John Armstrong in the Junior WRC. Please go check out his channel, guys, you will not regret it. So once I got the game, I immediately jumped into my TR8 Sim rig. A review on that is coming out very soon. I turned the realism settings up to maximum, and I started the process of retraining my brain to focus my attention solely on the pace notes being provided to me by my co-driver, who now winces and yelps at every single close call and bump. It starts out being pretty immersive, but honestly, I think we need to be able to tone it down a little bit, as it gets annoying quite fast and then becomes a little distracting as well.
Oh, that knocked the breath out of me. Let's get back on the track.
Sadly for me, and I do hope it is just for me, I have suffered the exact same issues with WRC 10 that I had experienced with WRC 9, and it's the kind of issue that makes playing a full career completely impossible. Whilst the game runs at a solid 60 FPS for me for the vast majority of time, I consistently hit an issue where the game suddenly stutters to a pause. Then my G29 force feedback cuts out, and then the game returns to the solid 60 FPS I had before, but without any forced feedback on the wheel. So I am constantly having to switch between having force feedback and then absolutely none at all. And of course, whilst the game is stuttering like that, I either wreck the car or I have to slow down so much that I lose the event despite having been on winning pace. As I race against the hardest AI with realistic damage and no restart activated, I am almost guaranteed a last place spot at least half the time. Now, my current rig is slightly above the minimum requirements, and dropping graphics to minimum does nothing to fix the issue. I'm running an i7 4700K, not overclocked, 32GB of DDR3, an SSD running on all three of my drives, and a GTX 660 Ti. Certainly not my fastest rig, but it is capable of running every other single race game that I own at maximum resolution across 3 screens at 5760 by 1080p in solid 60 FPS. So there is a certain issue here somewhere, and I don't know, it could be a conflict with my G29. I really cannot identify where the problem is. This stutter issue happens all of the time. It's every sort of 5 minutes or so, and it will even happen in the menu when I'm doing absolutely nothing at all. So, that massive annoyance aside, WRC 10 is a supremely exciting, visually rewarding and immersive rally experience, and if I can ever figure out what that bug is, then I will be focusing my time on completing a full career, without a shadow of a doubt. But, I hear you ask, who cares about that? What else does WRC 10 offer that WRC 9 didn't? A good question. New crowd animations who literally line the street on some of the stages, and that's pretty cool, right up until you lightly graze the knee of one of them and get an instant restart and a 5-second penalty. The new tweaked audio in game, I'd say, is excellent. Now, I grant you, more could still be done, but just listening to those historical engines is nothing short of bliss.
Into left 4, narrows 30. Acute hairpin right 30.
The improved car physics, which I still find to be a little too floaty at times, and enhanced and more detailed stages with even more realistic surroundings and new destructible models, plus 4 excellent new stages. Spain, which has been remade from scratch apparently, 𝗬𝗏𝗄 in Belgium, Croatia Rally, and Greece, which looks sensational. Racing around the mountains in the Acropolis is just stunning. Official missing rallies include Portugal and Finland, but we do have the likes of New Zealand, Estonia, Kenya, Japan, Sweden, Chile, Wales, 19 countries in all, and well over 100 stages in total. It's also the WRC 50th anniversary, and we have a dedicated mode to celebrate this with accurate liveries and drivers dating all the way back to 1972. At launch, there are more than 18 historical rallies across 4 groups that you can play, and you must complete each one in order to unlock the next one. Among them are events like the Swedish Rally's first non-Scandinavian victory for Sebastian Loeb back in 2004. And I've got to say, at the moment I don't have a handbrake hooked up, and that is a super tough event without a handbrake. They are each totally unique and a whole load of fun to complete. Even with my wheel issues, I really enjoyed the historical events.
Right 4 short, into left 3, very long, 30.
One of the new features I enjoyed immensely is the practice arena. It's a vast combination of terrain types and road surfaces that you can just drive around and explore and enjoy at your leisure. There is a frustrating bug here which always loads me in chase cam, something I never do in this game at all. And despite your co-driver being next to you, there are no pace notes at all. But it is a lot of fun to just drive around and enjoy yourself. WRC 10 launches on the 2nd of September 2021. It will be on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series and PC. And there's a Nintendo Switch version coming slightly after that as well. If you pre-order, you get the 1997 Colin McRae's Scooby and historical event to go with it. And if you decide to buy the deluxe version, you'll also get the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 5 plus a historical content for that. And you'll also get the Arena Panzerplatz stage. And something I don't really like is the Career Starter Pack booster. You get team members and livery editor stickers, which is fine. But you do get like a monetary boost to help you, which is a bit of a pay-to-win kind of thing, which I'm seriously not a fan of. But all of that aside, WRC 10 is WRC 9 enhanced. It's such a quality game. It is so much fun. No, it's not hardcore simulation, but my goodness me, it is bloody close to it. And it's a lot of fun. Because it's got that slight step back from being 100% realistic, it can be even more enjoyable, which is something I never thought I would ever say. But the truth is there. The stages and the events and the lighting and just the experience that this game gives you is just sublime. It's so much fun. It's so enjoyable. If you enjoyed WRC 9, then WRC 10 will give you much of the same, but more content, more improvements, better physics, and just overall a wonderful experience. There were a few minor bugs, a few minor issues, nothing significant, nothing that can't be fixed with a few patches here and there. And overall, the experience was an extremely good one that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Left 2, medium, into right 1.